Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to a brand new video. And today the NBA draft is finally concluded. The Phoenix Suns are by far, not even like trying to be biased, but they are the winners of this NBA draft. They are definitely one of those top three teams that I don't think anybody really expected the Suns to do this good in terms of drafting and being this aggressive, but they really killed it. We got Malawak with the 10th pick. We traded the 29th pick, of course, and all that to get more assets. Or no, that was in the Mark Williams trade. So we walked away with like 5 players. Malawak, Rasheer Fleming, CJ Huntley was a 2-way contract sign that just literally happened as soon as I hit record on this. Kobe Brea, and yeah, Mark Williams. 5 guys we walked away with, and I'm honestly pretty excited, man. The Suns really did a good job, and I think it really changed the perspective of the Suns fan base on this front office, because there was just this bad stigma around them, but they weren't aggressive, they weren't making the right moves. The Michigan State deal, and now you walk away and you just have you got the guys that you needed and that you wanted. The expectation was going into this draft that we were just gonna have pick 29 and whatever terrible crappy picks you were gonna get in the Kevin Durant trade, and that wasn't the case at all. The Suns made the right moves. You got the 10th pick, you got your own pick back from Houston. You drafted Malawak, a 7'2" center that you desperately needed. That's great on defense. Has a great jump shot. Even though he only took 16 3-point attempts in college this past season, made 4 of them, shot 25%. The mechanics are there. He's a great shooter. He gets to the rim. He's athletic on the rim, man. He lives at the rim. He's going to do a lot of great things for the Suns. Great on switch, drop coverage. I said that all in the last video. I kind of want to focus more on these second round guys. Rasheer Fleming, who I think is going to be a hit. And the fact that he fell to the second round is absolutely insane. I still can't fathom it. And I don't think anybody in the Suns front office could either. Rasheer Fleming, fun fact, I was tuning into Arizona Sports and listening to Gamble and such on 98.7. And they made it known that Rasheer Fleming was on their top 20 on their draft board. Now, if the scenario was different, the Suns only had the 29th pick, would they have taken him? Maybe. I don't think so. They probably would have took the Calibron or Danny Wolf or etc. But the fact that the Suns got their center in the top 10, who I don't even know how Malawak fell to 10, that changed the whole trajectory of this whole draft. It probably would have been a way different draft, to be completely honest, if we didn't get Malawak at 10. So shout out to the Suns front office, and shout out to the NBA for passing up on him. Seriously. Now, Rasheer Fleming is a guy that I grew an interest for just off NBA 2K doing rebuilds and stuff on my own time. And the fact that it was a realistic opportunity, I didn't even think he was going to fall to 29, to be honest. So the fact that he fell out of the 20s into our second round, granted he did go the very first pick in day 2 in the second round there, but it's honestly a good steal for the Phoenix Suns, and I think he's going to be doing some great things in the NBA. He can shoot. He's a great finisher. He plays a great defense. He's a great shot blocker. His player comparison, they personally asked him in his media draft interview. He is an OG Anunoby type guy. I see a little bit of Jaren Jackson, not so much the size, but kind of how he plays in a sort of way. And if you kind of watch his game film, that's kind of being put over top of me talking here. You do see that and you do understand that, sort of, kind of, in a little bit of a way. It's kind of a stretch, but I see a little bit of a smaller Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, a guy that is a very underrated pick that hasn't really been, talked about as much, but I think the Suns fan base has really caught on to it since the pick has happened, is Kobe Brea from Kentucky. Now, when we made the pick, myself included, we had no idea who he was. We had no idea what he was about. We just knew that he was a Kentucky guard. And he was 6'7". A 6'7" shooting guard, keep in mind. From Kentucky. Now, there's a stigma around Kentucky guards. It's usually a pretty safe bet. Now, we have one of those guys. That's our franchise guy, Devin Booker. You may have potentially just found a great backup for Devin Booker. And I believe it. Because when I watched 2 to 5 minutes worth of Kobe Bryant highlights, and the only thing I was getting this nostalgic feeling, the only thing I was gathering from that is I'm feeling a college Kentucky Devin Booker when I watch Kobe Bryant. Now, Book is 6'5", 6'6". You just got a guy that's an inch or two taller than him. and can shoot the lights off. He has a freaking clip on him, bro. I'm excited about this pick. I talked to a lot of Kentucky fans. They said he's an absolute elite scorer. He creates his shot. He's very high efficient. This dude almost shot 50, 40, 90 in college. He shot 47% from the field, 43% from three, and then 91% from the free throw line. Almost 50, 40, 90 is crazy, and he's definitely, when you look at this draft, he is the best shooter by far. Now, when you draft a guy like Brea, something that comes on top of my mind is trading. Now, I was expecting the Suns to move off Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal during this draft sometime to get more assets. No, now they're just kind of being the patient game. You got the guys that you wanted in the draft. Now you can go out and secure some more, veteran-like guys. Because when you look at this roster, everybody's like, we have 375 shooting guards. We don't. And, we have like 67 centers. We don't. But, kind of, in a way. But those moves will be made. The offseason doesn't end today, guys. We still have a free agency period. We still have literally until the ball is like tipped up in the air. Until they are in the freaking tunnel for the season debut opener or whatever. That's when the season starts. That is when we have time between now. We have all the way from June until September, late September, early October to get moves done. The Suns will do that. And I have put all my faith and confidence back into the Phoenix Suns. I'm very optimistic about what they're doing just based off this NBA draft. They did a great job. But yeah, like I said, as you can tell, I have a lot more energy. I got some more sleep. I'm not running off 3 hours of sleep anymore. I'm still a little bit tired, but hey, this was well worth it, man. I have excitement, adrenaline, just flowing through my brain, veins and stuff. So yeah, I ain't never gonna stop, man. The Suns, they freaking killed it, man. Truly, I'm excited. We have a lot of great prospects here, and now we are a very young team. We literally changed the whole trajectory and narrative around this Phoenix Suns team in a matter of 2 days. That's all it took, 48 hours for the Phoenix Suns to do that. A lot of teams are like, a lot of people within the fan base and the media were like, the Suns have no future, and a lot of people still have this. The Mark Williams deal is so frustrating to me because you just got a young, talented center that's averaging a double-double, and you have him. Granted, you have him for one more year. He's the cheapest starting center in the league. That's putting up great numbers, and hopefully the Suns bring it back. Seriously. Now, what the Lakers gave up for Mark Williams at the deadline is nothing compared to what the Suns gave up. They gave up Dalton Connect, I think a first-round pick and some other picks, just for Mark Williams. They gave up their rookie, who is very talented, Dalton Connect. He's going to be great. On top of some other picks for Mark Williams, who was an injury-prone center. That's the narrative around him too. The Suns did that with 2 picks. You got the 29th pick in this draft. Chances are that guy that they drafted is not going to be on the same level as Mark Williams. Mark Williams still has time to grow, and I talked about that in my last video as well, which you guys should definitely go check out. But yeah, it's a pick in 2029. Look what the Suns did with 5 second-round picks tonight. Like, the Suns will definitely. That's 4 years from now. That's 4 to 5 years from now. Nobody is looking at the 2029 draft class right now, and that's not even a good pick. It's gonna be a late first-round pick because it's the least favorable pick between like the Timberwolves, Cavs, and the Utah Jazz. One of those teams will be, hopefully good by then, so that pick won't mean shit, respectfully. But I'm excited, man. Rasheed Fleming is a prospect I'm really excited in. He's 6'9" with a 7-win wingspan. Sounds a lot like a guy that we had in the past, Mikal Bridges. He was a 6'7" wing, had a long wingspan, man. And those are the guys that the Suns really targeted here. CJ Huntley, I'm intrigued about. He shoots 35% from 3. He's a 6'11" forward. He averages, I believe, 15 points per game, 8.6 rebounds. I know he shoots like 49% from the field, but yeah, we have some upside here. And Brea is a guy that I think is gonna have like one of those like huge scoring games for the Suns, where you're like, wow, this dude is definitely there. And I think he just has that. When you watch his highlights, it's literally like watching Devin Booker's Kentucky highlights to me. He has the pro intangibles, and he's definitely going to be something great for this Phoenix Suns team, and I'm excited. Now, the Suns, the oldest player in the Phoenix Suns is Devin Booker, who is 29 years old right now, or 28 or 29, something like that. you got to add some dudes that are either on the same timeline as that or some older vets, because we're a pretty young team. You know, OKC did that. They got away with that. I mean, they didn't really get away with that. They really won. They have a lot of talent, but I think you're definitely gonna add some vets. Maybe a Russell Westbrook or Chris Paul. I'm not saying like dinosaurs, but somewhere in, you know, some solid veterans to help balance out this team. And now the next thing is you're probably gonna trade Grayson Allen. That's just a given. Not probably, that's a given. That's just when it's gonna happen. Bradley Beal is either gonna get traded or they're either gonna do the biggest buyout contract in NBA history, which I still think he will get traded for some sort of assets. Royce O'Neal, I'm not sure what they're going to do with him. They're shopping him. If they trade him, they trade him. If they don't, I don't think that will happen, but he will probably get traded. And then the center is between Oso and Nick Richards. I'd rather trade Nick just because Oso is, you know, a little bit younger, but I do like Nick's production on the court. But yeah, now you got to go get a point guard. Like I said, Lonzo Ball is a guy that I really like. If they go get him, awesome. If they don't, yeah, that's kind of a tough one. But in these next few trades and moves that they make in the free agency market and then just trading it with their assets, that can really determine what the Suns team looks like this year and how close they are to contending in the next 2 to 3 seasons. Seriously. But with that being said, man, I hope you guys really did enjoy this video, and I hope you guys did enjoy what the Suns did in this Phoenix Suns draft class, because they really did hit everywhere. Seriously, I give them a 10 out of 10. I give them an A+++ in terms of grading. But you guys have a great night, morning, afternoon, whenever you guys are watching this, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. So please subscribe, like, and comment down below what your thoughts are on the Suns draft class and some other teams that you thought did really good, and who are some sneaky prospects that you think are going to thrive in the NBA. So that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.